Hi everyone, it's Deborah. I wanted to do some staggered pockets and I thought I would start by doing it with some manila folder first because I'm not really sure what I'm doing and I wanted to see if I could actually do it. So what I have done is I've taken the half of a manila folder that you see here and I have cut it down. So I've made 3 different sizes. I've made 3 inches, 4 inches and 5 inches high. Then I thought that pocket's going to be too wide for a junk journal. So I cut this side at 5 inches and this side at 4 inches. I'm just going to see if this is going to work because I had an idea and hopefully it will. I'm going to start by scoring my piece at 1 inch approximately on either end, on the, in this instance, the long side, and turn that back. And then I'm going to take the other 2 pieces that are the same width as that. So this is the 5 inch piece and I'm going to repeat. So I've scored it at the 1/2 inch and the 4.5 inch. And then this is the last piece and the 4.5. And if this works, I will probably do some with some cardstock because I wanted to see first what the outcome would be. Now the idea I had was to put these on top of one another, but because I want them staggered and I want to be able to get things in and out of them, I've just folded over that piece. That's why I've done that little bit on the end. And then I was going to lay them on top of one another like this. And that way you would have one here, and one at the back here. I'll just see if that's going to work. Now before I do anything, I will probably notch the edge out. Okay, so just a little notch on all of those. Somewhere in the center, just eyeballing that. Now I wanted to stick it down. So the one at the back, I'm going to take some strips of the file folder and just put a score down the center of it. I usually make this about the 1/2 to maybe a bit bigger, 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, any of those sorts of sizes works quite well. And then I can put that across here to create so that you've got a raised piece, not just on the sides but on the bottom as well. This will also stop anything that you put in it from slipping right out the end. I never measure this sort of thing. I'm just chopping it to see if that's going to work, and then we'll put a bit of glue on it and see what we get. So that would be the bottom one, and then we need another one, so a bit more cutting out on this one. I didn't miter the corners. Oh yes, I might have one the right way and one the wrong way, but too late now, it's stuck down. And then this piece gets all stuck down on top of the other piece. And then there's the last little bit. I just need to get one more piece of skinny paper for that. I don't quite have enough. Probably should miter these corners here too, so that when you turn that over you don't get as much bulk in these corners as what you would if you don't miter them. Should have thought to do that on the other one, but like I said, it's all too late now, but never mind. Gosh, I'll have to get another bottle of glue out of the cupboard, I think. This one just doesn't want to work today. And then this one can go over the top of that. So this is a bit of a prototype, really. Let's see if it works. Chop that down. And I'm probably going to mitre these ones as well so that it's not so bulky. So when I make one that's actually going to go in a journal, I think I will mitre all of the corners. Now, that's looking pretty good, I think. Now I thought I would make an actual one now that I've done my little prototype. I might even use that on something, but maybe not. This is Tim Holtz's idea-ology paper pad, and it's called collage. Yeah. Okay, so there's heaps and heaps of papers in this one, and I think that an 8x8 is going to be a really good size to use. The reason being is that you can cut, as I have here, one sheet, which you can cut at the 3-inch and then 5-inch mark will be left over, and then the second cut would be to cut the 5 inches across off. So you'd have those two little bits left, which would be really good for tuck spots and things like that. So you'd be able to have them. And then the second one, you cut it in half at the 4-inch mark. So you could use that in another pocket, but this one here, and also you need to cut it down then, so you'd have two pieces that size. Again, fantastic for tuck spots or for journaling spots, because they're really good backgrounds, these ones. That might be a bit dark, but this one is certainly great little journaling spots. So we'll put that to one side. And the beauty of this is that when you stack them, because you've cut them at the 3, 4 and 5-inch mark, they'll make a lovely little set for you. So I'm going to score and use these now. So this is, I'm going to score this at the 1/2 inch mark, and then the 4.5 inch mark. So that will be the first piece at the top. And these two will be scored exactly the same, just like I did on the plain manila cardstock. And then turn them into the back. Probably not on top of your scoring board like I'm doing. I'm sure you can do better than that. Now I'm wondering if I should just use these pieces, although I could use these pieces on the bottom as well, couldn't I? Because that's now 4 inches. Yep, so I'm going to cut this and use it on these 3. So that's going to work out quite perfectly. You don't have to use the paper. You could actually use a piece of your manila folder or something like that, or a bit of leftover scrap. But I just thought, since it's here on the desk, I would use that to create the base of each of the pockets. There's the other one. Thought I'd lost it for a minute, but no, I hadn't. Okay, so now we'll turn this in, and you could also turn it out. So I'm just going to see. I might turn mine out actually, so I've got the plain cardstock on the outside for the bottom of them. And then these will go in here. So first job will be to mitre them this time properly. And then we'll mitre all of the corners as well. So I'm just roughly guessing what the mitre would look like, just taking a little bit off that angle. No science in it really, no measuring. I hope you're all enjoying your lockdown and you're getting lots of craft done, or whatever else you're doing in the lockdown period. Working, I'm still working a couple of days a week, just working from home. So it's all good. So this is the center one, this is the top one. So I'll cut my notches now. Now I'll just work out what the centers are. That looks pretty good. Just make sure, because this is a directional pattern in that it goes up and down, and this one is too, that the notch that you're cutting is in the top section, not the bottom section. You want to be cutting that. And in fact, I'm going to put this back in here. I'm going to be really particular today because I do want to get it right. And in this one, which is a squeeze punch that I use, I can actually see where I've put that other one. So even if it's not in the exact center, it'll look like it's in the center because they'll all be the same. And yes, I could have measured it, but I chose not to. The glue's good because it lets you have time to slide it around to get it right where you need it on the edge of that. And this one in first. And obviously when you're putting these on, you need to make sure your opening is to the top. There's no point in having it open to the bottom because it's the thing that'll stop everything sliding through. And once you've got all that on, then run your glue or your tape or whatever you're using to secure this around the outside of both of the pieces, and we'll stick them on. In, that on there. Now I may further decorate this once I put it in my book, and I'm choosing to put it in the travel journal that I'm working on at the moment, and I just have to find a place to put it. So I just flick through and find somewhere where I think it's going to look quite sweet. Maybe not there. I might put it on this little half page here because this hasn't got much on it. Okay, more glue down the sides or adhesive or whatever. And then I will be making some tags or something to go in this depending on what I decide to use when I actually start journaling in it, which I already have started that process, so you've probably seen, or if you haven't, go and have a look at the videos I've got. I think I've only got one up at the moment on the journaling in this, but there will be more to come. So I think it's just as important to make your journals as it is to actually use them. And then that's going to go in there, because when I make my journals, I don't put the pockets and everything in them at the time that I make them. I find that I just like to get my sewing done on them if I want to do any sewing on them, and I like to just get them done and bound. And then afterwards I go through and I put pockets in and I put journaling in and lots of other things. So that's it for today. I could have done with inking the edges of those. I actually completely forgot about that today, but in future I probably will ink the edges of those, and I'll be making some tags and things to put in them. So stay tuned. This is Deborah. Thanks for joining me. Cheers.